Next up in chapter 4, talking about becoming conscious while dreaming, aka classic lucid dreaming stuff. And so for these next sets of videos, we'll be going over Michael's different recommendations when it comes to that. And I like his first recommendation, which is remembering dreams, or essentially having, excellent or as good as you possibly can get dream recall. I like that because that tends to be the first recommendation that I give out to a lot of people as well when they're first getting into their lucid dreaming practice. Ask them, how many dreams a night are you typically recalling? For me, I would say you should be remembering at least like big chunks of 3 separate dreams throughout the night. Now, Michael recommends remembering or trying to remember way more dreams than 3, which I think is pretty interesting. So we'll get to that towards the end of the video. But for starters, there is a direct correlation between the number of dreams remembered and the probability of becoming conscious while dreaming. In essence, the ability to achieve dream consciousness rests with the conscious mind, which is very much interconnected with memory-related processes. By increasing the frequency of remembered dreams, short-term dream memory becomes more developed, which enables more realistic dream experiences, followed by a higher probability of dream consciousness. Then he talks about how you need to get into the habit of immediately recalling the dreams whenever you wake up in the morning, for sure. But much better than that is to get into the habit of recording, committing these dreams to memory every time you have one of these little mini awakenings throughout the night. And he points out how it can be beneficial to keep like a pen and paper nearby your bed, or jot down some notes from whatever dreams you can remember when you do have these little mini awakenings throughout the night. So it makes it easier for you to dream journal everything down in the morning. Of course, you could also just straight up dream journal the entire dream in the middle of the night. But man, I really hate doing that because, if it's a long dream, it's going to take me like 10 minutes or so to write all that out. And then by the end of that, I'm super duper wide awake, going to be hard for me to fall asleep. So I basically never do that unless it's like a really epic dream that I do not want to, forget at all. What I tend to do is I'll just lie in bed, right? Try not to move, keep my eyes closed when I do wake, and then just start committing, what dream I just came out of to memory. And then if I do remember earlier dreams from earlier in the night, commit those to memory as well. Then that has the added benefit too of, if as I'm committing this dream to memory, I start falling back asleep quickly enough and enter back into this liminal stage 1 state, I'll see hypnagogic imagery related to the dream I'm recalling. Then if I slip back into REM, I can really just enter back into, the exact same dream essentially. He also talks about how you should, how it can be beneficial to, when you're going to sleep at night, to recall the dreams you're having the night before, whether you're recalling them in your head or actually just rereading through your dream journal. Of course, talking about dream journals next, he points out how it can be beneficial to have an actual special dream journal, right? Maybe like some fancy dream journal book compared to like, just some generic mobile notebook that like a lot of kids use for school. Now for me personally, there is definitely some benefits to actually writing your dreams out. But for me, I much rather just do it on an app. So I use like Evernote for mine, because then you can keep many years worth of dream journals in in one specific place. Plus it's a lot easier to go ahead and search through and find specific keywords or themes and stuff like that. Then he also talks about how, of course, you want to be recording as much detail about your dreams as you can remember, but also I find it very beneficial to record other stuff as well. So some of the things that I like to track in my personal dream journal is I'll track what time I went to sleep and what time I woke up. Also, if I was out like partying that night, I'll make note of that too, like, going to sleep drunk or something like that. Then I note how easy it was for me to fall asleep, what I felt like my sleep quality was overall, then how I felt waking up. And then some more dream related things like, how vivid were my dreams overall, how I feel like my dream recall was overall and stuff like that. And then this next one is something interesting. One that sounds really cool. He calls it map cartography of your dreams. But one that I probably won't do because it just seems like too much work, but it is pretty neat. So I thought so I definitely wanted to cover it. Another way of remembering dreams is to create a map of the dream world. This is called dream cartography, and is similar to keeping a journal, though an enhanced level of awareness is developed by connecting dream episodes on a map. First, record one dream describing locations and events which are plotted on the map. This cartography process is repeated with each subsequent dream, and after several dreams, an episode will occur that is somehow related to the location of a dream that has already been recorded. The 2 dreams that took place near each other are plotted next to each other on the map. Over time, more and more interrelated dreams will occur, and the map will become increasingly concentrated rather than disconnected. As a result, the frequency and realistic quality of remembered dreams will increase, and the dreamer will increase the ability to achieve consciousness while dreaming. Having a hard time reading. like always. My dyslexia is killing me. And then to wrap it up, we'll wrap it up with this. So when this number becomes significant, so the number of dreams, right? Anywhere between 5 to 10 dreams per night, which is crazy high, but I think obviously he must be, referring to it like this. So if you have a lot of these mini awakenings, right, throughout the night and you fall back asleep, you enter into a dream, he considers each of those to be separate dreams. Or for me, sometimes I'll just consider them to be the same. Like I feel like if I'm, briefly wake up out of REM, quickly fall back asleep and enter back into REM, sometimes I just consider that to be the same dream, especially if, it picks up in a similar theme and setting from the dream I was just coming out of. Now, if it's a completely different dream, theme, and setting, then I will break those out into different dreams, but 5 to 10 is a lot. Oh, and then to finish this up, dream consciousness follows on a regular basis. So if you're able to remember 5 to 10 dreams a night, he's basically saying, dream consciousness is going to follow, regularly, which makes a lot of sense, and is also why I tend to tell people when they get into the practice, first thing you got to do is get your dream recall as good as possible. And with that, we'll wrap it up until the next video. Keep your phase practice legit.